Abortion is not murder. What is murder but depriving someone of their life? What is life but the interaction of an individual with its environment? How can you interact with your environment when you do not think? Fetuses do not think. They are incapable of it. They are empty shells, yet to be filled with anything meaningful, i.e., thought. They have no thoughts. They have no identity. How can they be considered alive? Many people will make the argument that, from sort of a visceral, sort of a standpoint that can be encapsulated as follows. Let me think of the wording. All right. They'll say something to the effect of, what if you were aborted? You were once a fetus. What if you were aborted? What if your life was not allowed to continue at that stage? You would never have come to be. So they say, potential life is what is to be valued. I disagree with that right off the bat, because you could call so many things potential life. How many eggs and sperm go to waste? Why aren't we joining them all together? It's potential life. That is tantamount to murder in itself, right? But here's what I really like to say. What if I was aborted? First of all, I'll tell you straight up, I wouldn't care. I didn't live, but did I lose anything? No, I never had anything. There was no me. There were millions of, how many years were there before my birth in which I did not exist? How many years? How many years after my death will I no longer exist? Am I going to be bothered by those years? No. So what? So what about not existing? There are an infinite number of people that don't exist, of possible people that don't exist. And here's the trump. I was almost aborted, actually. My mom was at the clinic talking to the doctor, and she couldn't go through with it. And honestly, I would not have held it against her if she had. She sacrificed quite a bit afterwards to take care of me. She didn't give me up. She was 15 years old, and she didn't abort me, didn't give me up, and it really damaged her life. I'm going to say, honestly, it did. I can see that much easily, even all these years later. And I'm fairly certain that she doesn't regret it. And if she did, then, that would be an interesting thing to think about. What if she regretted it? I don't know. Actually, I know she didn't, because she says, she did a good job. And I have to agree with her. And I hope that I have enriched her life in addition to damaging it. So, but anyway, I have to admit, though, I wasn't what you would have called advantaged at any stage. So, if she'd waited and had another child, that would have been great, She could have, both their lives would have been improved, I mean, you could call it me delayed, I mean, it wouldn't have been, obviously. My genetics wouldn't have popped up again, my exact genetics, but so what? I grew up with a single mother, poor. We were forced to move around a lot. And really, it's a wonder that I turned out as well as I have. Not that that's particularly well, but I'm doing all right, I suppose. But for many years of my life, I wasn't I was not happy. I was not very happy. So, and I'm sure that could very well have been different. So I would not have held it against her whatsoever if she did it. Not whatsoever. And I wouldn't have minded. I wouldn't have been alive to mind. And there you have it. So that's my trump card to those people, those pro-life people. Those two terms are interesting, pro-life and pro-choice. It's like as if anyone wasn't pro-life, but the disagreement lies in what is considered life. So that's kind of disingenuous. Pro-choice, actually that is kind of a valid assertion that they are pro-choice, which obviously makes them. The assertion that the opposite or the inverse is true of their opponents, they're not pro-choice. They don't want to give people that choice. They want to consider it murder to kill a fetus. It's no more murder than killing any of the innumerable species that are incapable of thought. Ants. They're just as capable of thought as human fetuses. Let's see. Mosquitoes, same. Let's see. Plants, same. They're still alive. They're living material. But we eat them. We consume them. Even vegetarians consume plants. So, really, it's ridiculous. And there's no person that you're saving. You're not saving a person. A person is not this. A person is in here. A person is our thoughts, our values, personality, experiences. Those are the things that are the summation of a person. Those are the things that encapsulate what is sentience, what is a being. So there you go. You might as well just be exterminating, pests, really, for all I care. It's nothing to me. Abortion is a positive thing for society. You don't want society should not have unwanted children. It's one of the saddest things to force someone to go through life in such a manner. So I am pro-abortion, pro-choice. Life is pain. But it is also beauty. There lies a balance in everyone's life between pain and meaning, personal meaning, beauty, pleasure, happiness, call it what you will. And if that balance is in favor of pain, what is the point of living, really?